Hope your day is going well. I was doing a Instagram live, and while I was out here in the shop, I figured I'd do a YouTube live just to see what everybody was up to. I haven't done a live in a minute, and to kind of give people a sneak peek at a Father's Day giveaway that we're going to be doing. Really just to announce the giveaway. I can't really announce. I mean, I can give you some of the products, but I want to wait until I have everybody committed. I do have 2 companies committed already to give towards the Father's Day giveaway, so that's really cool. And then I've reached out to 2 other companies, and I want a third on top of that. So 5 companies altogether I'm looking to work with to do a Father's Day giveaway, because 5 to 97% of my following is male. So I want to make sure I do something for you hardworking dads out there. So yeah, anyways. So I don't know how I'll do that. I mean, I guess there's really no way for me to do it where people have to prove that they're a dad. So I don't know. I'll probably just do a Father's Day giveaway. It's hard enough to do giveaways, let alone to try to verify that somebody's a dad. But it'll be cool just to say thank you to all the dads out there. What's going on, Tony? So yeah, so that'll be cool. There are going to be really cool products. 2 of them already that are committed are already really cool. They're products that I use. I do use them every day. And the other ones are companies that I use their tools just about every day as well. So we'll see the 3 other companies, what they say. I'm pretty sure that they're going to be down for it. And so, like I said, I just want to have some really good, cool products to give away for y'all. So I wonder, now that I'm thinking, I bet you I could do a Scanner Danner premium giveaway. That would be really cool too. Anytime I can help support Scanner Danner and what he does, that'll be good with me. So maybe that'll be the fifth thing that I do, and I'll just buy that myself and pay for somebody's premium for 6 months or so. So anyways, I'm just thinking out loud. We'll see. So like I said, 2 more companies. So I'm just out in the shop. I haven't done a live in several weeks. We were out of town the week before, and then, or last week, and then the week before. I don't remember what I was doing. Didn't do any lives that week, and I don't think I did any the week before. So it's just been super busy. Shop's been busy. Life's been busy. It's, starting to finally warm up, so we're able to do some more stuff outside. And then it's wedding season. We have some weddings that we're going to. Lots of graduations, because my wife and I help out with the youth at our church. So we do get invited to a lot of graduations. We don't get to make it to all of them as much as we'd like, but we try to make it to the ones we can that'll fit in our schedule. And so yeah, anyways, I just wanted to jump on here and do a live with y'all, and probably go jump on TikTok too, just to do a live on there as well. I try to at least do a live on each platform every couple weeks if I can. I like building up the community. I have my community built up mostly on Instagram. It's a little different than the other platforms. So I don't know. And it's where I put the most work in from the very beginning as well. So that's probably why also. So, but I chat with a lot of people on there. YouTube's a little different because you're just commenting back and forth. You're not really chatting with each other as far as messaging. So it's just a little bit harder is all. So yeah, anyways, what are y'all up to? Anything exciting? Hopefully y'all are off today and not working. I hope you don't have to work today. I hated working weekends. It was the worst. So when I first opened the shop, I worked Saturdays, and then I quickly stopped doing that. Quickly went to Monday through Fridays, just because it's not worth it. You start running your own shop, and it's hard enough, and then let alone add an extra day to that. It's just not fun. So, and today might be a busy day for y'all, and there might not be many people who are very chatty. Instagram was kind of quiet too. Sometimes I'll get on and there's a ton of people on, and there's lots of chats going on, lots of questions. Sometimes I'll get on and there's nothing, and y'all are busy or people can't get on. And so I totally understand that. And today looks like it's going to be one of those days. What does that say? At least the chat stays popped up on here, which is nice. Instagram does the same thing. TikTok goes away. It's kind of weird. Like, it'll pop up and then go away. So, but yeah, anyways. All right, well, super quiet today. Super duper quiet today. I'll give it a few more minutes and kind of just chat around, talk to myself. But like I said, I just wanted to talk about that Father's Day giveaway and jump on here because I haven't been on here and done a live. I've been posting some videos, but even my content's kind of dropped down because I've been so busy. At the end of the day, the shop pays the bills and social media does not. So I enjoy doing social media. It's the only reason that I create videos and post content and do tool reviews and such, because I do enjoy it. But again, it doesn't pay the bills. The shop pays the bills. So when the shop's super busy, I gotta put my time and effort into what supports my family and myself and all that jazz. So I probably should be cleaning up my tools, wiping my toolboxes down, because I haven't done that in a minute, and my carts and my toolboxes are dirty, so I'll probably get to doing that as well because they look really bad. And I need to wipe my tools down. I used to do that a lot when I was flat rate at the dealership. I would stay late or go in early in the mornings and clean all my stuff. And but I don't do it as much anymore. I keep building up my toolbox. This week I got a decent Mac 3/8 torque wrench with angle. Yeah, those are awesome. I love my my tech angles is what Snap-on calls them, I think. They're awesome. I love these torque wrenches. So I don't know if these are made by Snap-on. I'm not sure, but that's really dirty. But yeah, having the angle is huge. Having the flex is huge for sure as well. So you'll love that thing. You will absolutely love it. It is a great it's a great tool to have in your arsenal, even if you don't use it all the time. I've had mine for years and years and years. Yeah, every Friday. That's ideally what I should do. Normally for me, it's like Saturday, so I don't have the shop open on Saturday. I will come out here and record lives, record videos, and then I schedule them out for the week because a lot of times I don't have time during the week to record my stuff. So I'll come in on Saturday and clean my tools like you do on Friday. And now that you reminded me and I pulled this out, it's dirty, so I'm gonna go ahead and clean it up a little bit. So I appreciate that for sure. So yeah, I need to do a better job. It's kind of just one of them things. Usually on the weekends, spending time with the wife or kids, or we got plans or such. So it's not always easy, but you just got to force yourself to make time. A lot of times we'll make excuses and say we don't have time, which is not true, because we fill our time up with stuff that we don't always need to be doing. So there's plenty of times that I'm just cruising my phone looking at mindless stuff that doesn't do me any good. Now, if I'm on YouTube, it's usually pretty educational stuff. For some apparent reason, I work on cars all day long and then still watch a bunch of automotive YouTube channels. So I just enjoy it. I enjoy following certain people. I enjoy supporting them and following their channels and helping them with views and comments and stuff, because I know the grind. I know what it takes to have social media channels. So I try to watch their stuff as well and support them and all of that jazz. So I'm not perfect at it, but I try anyways. So yeah, I've got the 1/2 inch one as well, which I really like also. They're not cheap, even through Mac. I'm sure they're not cheap either. I don't know what Mac sells theirs for, but yeah, none of that stuff is cheap. Like I almost feel like I'm pretty big into the shop buying tools, and like I went to a training event recently and they had a panel of mechanics up there and they asked them questions, and the mechanics talked about having to buy tools and all of this, that, and the other. And then they had shop owners come up. Well, we were able to ask the mechanics questions while they were up on the panel, and one of the shop owners asked, like, well, what type of tools or how much or whatever, and they all said, well, we like our own tools and blah, 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 blah. But I feel like a torque wrench, I feel like the shop should buy that, and a lot of people want to have their own tools, so like the shop should probably buy it with the kind of prerequisite, like, okay, I'll buy this for you because they're expensive, obviously. you know, and it's yours after 6 months or whatever. It's 100% yours. So if you stay here for 6 months, both this 1/2 inch and 3/8 tech angle is yours, because the business gets to write it off. The tech gets to keep it after 6 months, so you get that 6 months of work out of them and profit, but it's also still theirs after everything's said and done. So if they ever do decide to leave, they have their own. So I'm real big into that. I think that's a win-win for both sides, you know, because like I said, it gets some sort of commitment out of the tech to stay around for a certain period of time. And if they decide not to stick around for that 6 months, you know, they could buy it out and keep it, or the shop just gets to keep it and they just leave. And so, you know, that way the shop's not out the whatever, how many ever dollars it costs them if the tech ends up leaving like a month after they buy it for them. So like I said, it's a win-win. It's not perfect, but it's better than just the tech having to buy everything and the shop not putting in the money towards the tools. So I don't know. I had a shop owner, I just posted a video. I don't think I posted it on YouTube, to be honest. I'll show you guys. In a lot of my videos, I don't post, like, I don't even know if I've ever posted. This was the first video that I know of that I posted specifically about these bolster trays, which I really like. But I have like a lot of time lapses in videos where I'm working on cars where this is in there because it's what I use all the time. But anyways, I had another shop owner and she bought 3 of them for her techs for Father's Day. So I thought that was a really cool idea. And that's actually what gave me the idea to do a Father's Day giveaway. So that was really nice, you know, that to see shop owners, and it's not anything huge, but it's more than anything I've ever gotten working for a shop, especially for Father's Day. So for the first, I think it was 4 years or whatever that I worked at the first dealership, we didn't even get bonuses or anything. So, and then they finally one year gave us I think it was a $40 Kroger card or something like that. I'm a Benz Lube tech making over 100K a year, but want to be in a shop doing everything from bumper to bumper. Only thing is I'm going to be doing less than what I make now. Any suggestions? That's what I went from. So I went from making 100K a year to starting my own shop. You just got to be willing to sacrifice and be willing to make that sacrifice of dropping your income. I didn't take any money from the business for the first 4 to 6 months. I took no paycheck. You need to set yourself up for success and understand it's going to be a long-term play. And understand that if you've been just at Mercedes-Benz and not done anything else, you're in for a very rude awakening when you start working on everything. It's a lot different. I've worked at Honda for the primary of my career. As far as, like, I've been in the industry for 14 years. Of that 14 years, 7 was at Honda dealerships. Now, I do still specialize in Hondas. Like 52% of my revenue comes from Hondas, but I work on other Asians and domestic vehicles, and it's not what you think. So there's just a lot that goes with it. So if you've only been working on Mercedes, you have that hurdle to overcome as well. It's possible, don't get me wrong. It's just not what you think. So keep that in mind. Save up as much money as you can. You need to build up a clientele as well. As Dave Ramsey always says, get the boat as close to the dock as possible. So get as many clients as you can before you actually start your own shop. It was $500 traded in some old wrenches and got a better deal. I agree. The shop should have good specialties. My shop has a Pico that I'm learning. That's awesome. Yeah. So same thing. Shops should supply Pico scopes. In my opinion, be it Euro or whatever. Yes, I agree. Specializing is a huge deal. That's why I specialize in Hondas. I enjoy them, and I've always just really been passionate about Hondas. Even my very first car was a Honda, and I've owned like almost 50 Hondas as of now. And so I'm just passionate about them anyways. So specializing helps. So if you are a Mercedes tech, then likely you'll do Euros. But as you know as well, like doing anything to a Mercedes-Benz, if you don't have, I forget what they call that stupid thing, which costs like $30-something thousand to do your updates and programming and stuff to Mercedes, you're pretty much stuck on a lot of that. So that's something to keep in mind. I mean, obviously you're going to charge more than normal. If you're a Eurotech, you should be charging more, but those are just things to think about. I would find a good Euro specialist shop and ask them some questions. Jamie's Garage is a good one. His channels are way bigger than mine, so I'm not sure how much time he has to actually, answer everybody's questions. But if he does, you could ask him. There are other Euro specialists out there, but yeah, there's some things that you're gonna need that I don't need. So keep that in mind. It still holds true. You need to have a bunch of money saved up. I can't tell you how many people message me and say they don't even have enough money to survive 6 months without giving themselves a paycheck. And that is a horrible idea, because you start running a business and if you don't have enough money to pay your bills, you start making decisions based off of fear because you don't have enough money coming in. And anytime you run business based out of fear, it is not good. And you start doing things that you normally wouldn't. And I'm not even talking about like dishonest things. I'm talking about taking in jobs and doing work that you normally wouldn't, doing customer supplied parts, which is a terrible way to run your business. There's just a lot of things that you shouldn't do and normally wouldn't do if you had enough clientele and enough money to cover you during a slow week or slow month. I mean, I've had entire slow months in my first 3 years of business. I mean, there were several days in the first year that I was in business where I had no appointments. So I'd take the kids, to the park or whatever, and we'd do stuff like that because I didn't have any appointments, which was nice, but obviously I'm not making any money, which again is another reason why I didn't take any money from the business, because the amount that I was getting in, I was pouring directly back into the shop, buying equipment, buying specialty tools, paying for a new SMS, paying for service information, buying things like a Pico scope and AC machine. Actually, I had my AC machine already, but stuff like that. Like, there's a lot of things that you're gonna need. And if you're gonna start it like that and not get out a big business loan, then you're gonna need some money set aside. So yeah, go listen to Changing the Industry podcast and start listening to that and start learning as much as you can. There's a ton of great information on there, a ton of great companies, a ton of great coaches that go on there that give you great information. Also, keep in mind when you start a shop, I've done a few videos like this on my YouTube channel. I would encourage you to go watch them, not because it benefits me, but my goal is to benefit you, someone who wants to start their own shop. I did a video on things I wish I had done sooner, mistakes that I've made, and then why I don't give over the phone estimates or install customer supplied parts. So all of that has been extremely huge for me in running my business. It's helped me stay successful. We doubled our gross revenue in the business from year 1 to year 3. So that has helped as well. So I'm not just saying this stuff and, over here struggling. I mean, we're not rolling in money. I still don't make as much as I did when I was working for the dealership, but a lot of that's because, we're still growing the business and such like that. But we are also successful as a business as well. We've been net positive since we opened the doors as far as our tax returns. So that's been good as well. So we're growing and learning and growing and learning. It's a lot of learning, lots and lots and lots of mistakes, And that's my goal, is to share as many mistakes that I've made as I can with you all. So that way you can learn from those and hopefully not have to do the same. You'll still make your own mistakes, and that's okay. That's how we learn. And, we want to make mistakes because it helps us learn better and quicker, as long as we're open-minded and willing to learn from them and be self-aware enough to know that we made a mistake. But, sorry, I thought somebody was pulling in the driveway. That's the stuff you're gonna have to figure out. But my goal is to hopefully help you learn and change and adjust those things from the beginning before you do that. So yes, I don't know about a blueprint and processes and procedures. I can't say that yes or no because I didn't have any of that stuff, but it's good. I'm not saying that that's wrong. That's a great advice. I didn't have any of that stuff. I learned as I went. And so, again, that would be a mistake that you could have some of that stuff in place. I think the issue with that is you think you know, like I did. I guess I shouldn't say I didn't have a blueprint in place. That's not true. I did have a list. I found a list not too long ago, maybe 6 to 8 months ago, a list of all the equipment and things that not just equipment, but things I thought I was going to need for the shop and how much I thought they were going to cost. And it wasn't even remotely close. Like I wasn't even in the same ballpark of what it all was going to end up costing me and how much to set aside in taxes and stuff like that, or how much I was going to have to do for taxes, not set aside. I did have that set in place right from the very beginning. I was setting aside 30% right off the bat for taxes. So I would suggest that. It's probably a little more than you need to, but if you don't use it all and have to pay it all back in taxes, you've got a little extra bonus for yourself. So you're better off doing it that way than trying to have to pay a huge amount at the end of the year and not be able to pay it. I'm sorry, I just got here. What is the giveaway? So I didn't announce exactly what I was giving away, but I am doing a Father's Day giveaway. I have 5 companies that I'm gonna work with. Right now I have 2 confirms. I'm 99% sure that the other 2 companies are gonna be doing, getting the giveaway as well. I guess I can announce the one. One of them is gonna be this bolster tray that I use all the time. So one of them is going to be one of these. So we're going to give away one of those. And then the other one, I'll just go ahead and tell y'all. Why not? Y'all are here. The other one's going to be some Gator magnets from Gator Magnetics. I'll show y'all how I have mine set up, which you can use these on your house and stuff too. So obvious. Like I posted a video and a lot of people were like, oh, well, I can't leave stuff on the outside of my toolbox because people will steal my tools, which I understand. I never had that problem. Thankfully, I worked in a place and actually all of the shops that I worked at, I didn't have to worry about people stealing stuff. So I am thankful for that. There were some shady people there, but nobody ever stole stuff. So this is how I have mine set up with my Gator magnets. And then I also have my hammers hung up here. But, and then I talked to them and they said they'll do some magnets, and then I'm going to find out, I'm going to do a poll on my Instagram. So if you're not following me on my Instagram, and if you have an Instagram, I suggest you go there because that's where I do more regular updates because obviously it's easier with stories and stuff. But I'm going to do a poll as well to kind of see if people want something more along the lines of like one of these baskets, which are pretty cool. So they come with 2 magnets and they hold 40 pounds or something like that. Or the cup holder. I'm not leaving these here. I just haven't moved them. Honestly, it's been so busy. I've not done anything with them. I'm actually going to use these in my house garage because the basket's not ideal unless I had a locker that I had space next to it. That's where ideally in my mind I would use that basket. But then I also have them in my locker for my batteries so I know which ones are charged. And so that's an idea as well. If you have a locker, you can put your magnets in there and get a little extra storage. So yeah, so they're going to include something else too. So they're going to do a couple magnets. I don't know how many magnets, but they're also going to do the basket, do a basket or a cup holder. I don't know. They might do both. I'm going to find out what people would be more interested in. Maybe they just want the magnets. My goal is to give away stuff that y'all want and use, not just to pick and choose myself because it's for you. It's not for me. I got the idea from somebody who bought these for their techs for Father's Day, which is a really cool idea. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to try to do a good giveaway for y'all because as much as I love my wife and I love Mother's Day and I always want to make a big deal about it, I feel like a lot of times the dads get forgotten about. And so I just want to do something cool for you all. So if it's a guess of number from 1 to 20, I'm still sticking with 14.1. I don't know how I'm going to do it, but I'll figure it out. All that room to work with, I'm jealous as a field tech working out in a search. I feel like I did reach out to Top Don, so they're a company that I did reach out to. I'm waiting to hear back from them. I'm pretty sure they'll say yes. I don't think it's going to be a thermal imager. I asked if they'd be interested in doing one of their jump packs, which this is their newest one. So it's a jump pack, and then it also has a Bluetooth battery tester built in. So I've done a couple videos on it, not a ton because, again, I apologize. I've been super busy, so I've been really laxed on content lately. So one of these would be really cool. So yeah, anyways. So I'm reaching out to a few companies and we'll see. If they say no, it's all good. Like it's never personal. They have their like allotted amounts that they have for working with content creators and their marketing and stuff. So there's a limit. So sometimes they can, sometimes they can't. So I just reach out and contact these companies and ask them, see if they're down for it. So did you take out a second mortgage on all that? Snap-on? No, it's all paid for. I paid for all of my tools in cash. I don't owe any money on any tools. That's not true. I do owe on my AC machine right now because I am buying a couple loaner cars for the shop for customers. And so I could pay for it right now if I wanted to, but I was like, they did 6 months, 0% financing. And I thought, well, if I end up buying 2 loaner cars, I'm looking to spend around 5 to 7 grand. So then I'd have, another 10 to 14 grand plus the AC machine, which was another $6,000. Plus I had to buy a tank of Freon YF, which was another, whatever, $650 or whatever it is. So I was like, I'll drag that out a little bit, if I have to, and if I don't end up finding something, I'm just going to pay it off here in the next month or two because it's only been 2 months. So maybe one of them Viper chairs. Yeah, the Viper chairs would be sweet. I don't work with Viper chair very much. They work with they're like a massive company, although I do work with Milwaukee and they're much larger. So I don't know. I've not really pushed the matter with Viper chair. I do love my Viper chair, but I've never really pushed and reached out to them I did ask a while ago and my accounts were much smaller and I don't remember what it all was. So I just decided not to go with it. So, all right, what about Tublo towels? I actually don't work with Tublo towels either, even though I market them all the time because this is a product that I use day in and day out. I do love these. I've not actually physically reached out to them. I tag them all the time. Sometimes I like working with companies on a more organic level versus me having to reach out to them or them having to reach out to me. I have companies all the time reach out to me about doing stuff, but I turn down a lot of places as well because for me, because this is not my income, this is not where I make my money, I can be more picky and I don't care. I want it to be good products that I think my followers and my subscribers will be interested in. If you guys aren't interested in it and it's not going to be good products for you to use every day, then it's pointless for me to do it. I'm not just going to go out and there's a ton of these Chinese companies. There's this company that you'll see a bunch of people do that's called, what is the name of that company? King's Bowlin or whatever. And they have some okay stuff, but every time they try to send me something, it's the cheapest possible little code reader or something like that. I'm like, listen, the majority of my followers are way more advanced than some code reader that you can buy, on Amazon for $30. My goal is to get products that y'all are on a level of using. And I know for sure over 50%, probably 60% of y'all are way more advanced than that. A lot of my followers are mechanics or shop owners, and you don't have any interest in a tiny little cheap code scanner. So every time they reach out to me, I'm like, my followers are not interested in that crap, and I'm not gonna peddle some cheap $30 code reader for y'all because it doesn't do my followers or subscribers any good. So anyways, that's a little side rant. I have to go into debt with the Snap-on dealer. Every purchase stuff is so expensive. Don't go into debt you don't have to. Get better with your money, no offense. And that was a hard lesson I had to learn. I had 8 or 9 credit cards maxed out. I had a $20,000 car note and I had $30,000 in student loans. I was the king of debt and I finally made a life choice to get myself out of debt. I paid off all my debt, so I have no consumer debt, and I started paying for everything in cash. I just save up the money. It takes a little bit longer, and it sucks because everybody around you is buying stuff, but they're burying themselves in debt, and you are not, and you have a much better life and quality of life because you don't owe somebody a bunch of money. So great way of thinking. The best feeling is not being desperate from a company trying to take advantage of it. Yes, so that's my thing. And it's funny too, like some of these companies, I don't think they quite realize like, and it sucks because you have to kind of start thinking when your pages and your videos start getting a certain amount of views, you have to start thinking of yourself as well as like, I'm getting these companies millions of views and plays and selling their product for a free product. Which, don't get me wrong, I'm not complaining, sort of. Like I am complaining, but I'm not complaining, I guess. I don't know. The free stuff is great. Like free product is cool. But at the end of the day, it takes a lot of time to create the content, record the content, come out here on the weekends or in the mornings or whatever, late in the evenings, and record the content. And so that time is time taken away from something else. And so that is obviously not free. Time is not free. So it's a struggle. Like you don't want to be greedy, and I'm thankful for the companies that do work for me or work with me. I'm sorry. And then I also still buy stuff. I still buy a lot of tools myself. There's still a lot of money of my own that I'm still pouring out into products because I think they're cool products and the company can't work with me or whatever. And so I'll still buy it because I think y'all might like it. So just depends. It's hit and miss. So that's a little behind the scenes on the content stuff. I guess you didn't ask for it. So having loaner cars is a huge leg up over smaller shops. Yes, that is my goal. And I don't do waiters. Like 99% of my appointments are not waiters. They're all drop-offs, and that can be an inconvenience. So it'll help me bring in that business as well for the people that normally can't wait, or need to wait, sorry. They can't drop off. So that's my goal. So I'm looking for good vehicles. That's my struggle right now. Also, don't forget, also deal with questions from your viewers about product. Also, and don't forget, also deal with questions from your viewers about the product. Yes, correct. Like answering questions and spending that time. Correct. I get that a lot too as well, which I enjoy it. Like I said in the beginning of this live stream, I enjoy doing this. I enjoy the products. I enjoy using them every day. Like I love channels like the Torque Test channel, and I don't watch it, but I respect what he does. Project Farm, like I like those channels. But my only like qualm against them is they're just testing the initial. They give you like a great idea about the tool and if it's going to have enough power. But my goal is because I'm in this every day and running my own business and using these tools, is you're getting that perspective now. So you've got the perspective of those channels, like the initial, okay, I know this light's going to last this long with this battery, or this tool is going to have this much power. My goal is to show you longevity. Hey, I've been using this tool now for 6 months and been beating the living crap out of it, and it's still running strong. Or hey, a year later, I'm still using this and it's still working and I've not had to send it in. Or hey, I bought this and I've had to warranty it out multiple times. Like that's my goal, is to share that stuff with you on the back end of it. And that's the real life stuff that you're going to experience. And so obviously every situation is going to be a little different. And maybe a tool breaks for me a bunch and it doesn't break for you at all, or vice versa. It's going to be different for everybody. What's good about the new Snap-on Solus Plus? I don't know. I just saw it on the tool truck today or yesterday. The 500 times drop test, yeah. I just saw the Solus Plus yesterday on the truck. I don't know anything about it. I did power it on and just cruise it a little bit. It's super fast. I have the Apollo D9 already, and I have a Veris Edge, and then I have my Top Don Phoenix Elite. And I also have an Autel BT609. So I've got quite a bit of scan tools to cover my bases. And I don't know, the Solus Plus seems really fast. I want to get my hands on it. I talked to the dealer about possibly doing a demo. Snap-on right now is I'm waiting to hear back from them, the actual company. So I might just have to get the demo from my franchisee excuse me, if I can. I want to put my hands on it because it's semi-affordable. You know, saying a tool truck brand scan tool is affordable is kind of a gray area because comparatively, like my Topdon Phoenix Elite, I think is $1,800 before you use my discount code, and it's 15% off. So whatever 15% off of 1,800 bucks ends up being, versus the Solus Plus is $3,600, I think, full MSRP. Obviously, that's another gray area, is pricing on tool trucks, and every dealer is different. So I don't know, but it depends on what you're going to be working on too. I work on a lot of Hondas and domestic, and Snap-on's very good with Honda and domestics, and they're not bad with Toyotas either, which I work on a lot of Toyotas. So that's a good scan tool for me. If you're working on a lot of Euros, Snap-on is not good for that. Autel and Topdon are very good for European cars. So, you know, it's going to depend on what you're working on. Talking about scan tools, I have the Autel MS906 Pro TS. I was wondering, do you know of a good scope that works wired wirelessly with the Autel? The only one that I know of that will work is going to be the one from Autel, the MX, whatever it is, 408, I think is the part number for that. MX 40 something, which is okay, I've heard. It's like kind of hit and miss. To me, and it's tough because I don't want you to spend extra money, but the Ultra with the built-in lab scope is really, really nice. I wouldn't even buy the Ultra. I'd buy the 909, I think it is. I think it's the 919, the 919. It's cheaper, it's a little bit smaller, but it has the scope as well. If I was gonna tell you to buy one with a scope, it'd be that or the Topdon Max, I think it is. But I just don't know. To get started and start to learning, the MX whatever, I'm sure is fine. The one from Autel, like if you're just learning and wanting to know it. I'm gonna grab some water. Had way too much coffee this morning, so I'm all like jittery, and I need to have more water, flush it out of my system. I need to quit making that mistake. So anyways, so yeah, scopes are tough. Like I have a Pico, and then I have my Veris Edge. So, and I like the Veris Edge, but Snap-on's software and the way the scope works comparatively to like a Pico or like an ATS or ATI, I think it is kind of annoying, but I still do use it, and it's what I grab because it's quicker normally. So if I'm doing something quick and I know I can just grab the Veris Edge, I'll just hook it up and do my test with that because it is faster. If I'm going more in depth and I'm digging in, then I'll pull out the Pico because it has a lot more user-friendly options. Zoom in, zoom out, all of that jazz. It's just so much better. So, you know, some people are so used to the Snap-on lab scope that they don't care. Like it's totally cool for them. So you can make do. Like Scanner Danner, Paul, that's what he uses most of the time. You'll see him use the Snap-on lab scope because that's what he's been using for years and years and years. So, and there's nothing wrong with that. You can learn whatever you want. Have you ever done a review of the Snap-on Power Probe? I have not. I do own one though. I own one. The multi-probe, I don't use it very often because quite honestly, most of the time you don't need one. And so it's kind of like one of those things. And if it's not used properly, then obviously you can fry stuff just like a normal Power Probe. It's made by Power Probe. It's just Snap-on's multi-probe. So I do use it, but it's not often. Usually a test light and a load tester and some other stuff, and you can diagnose most stuff without one of these. Again, they are useful in certain situations, but a lot of times you don't need one. It would be smarter from a business sense to buy multiples of the exact same SUV type loaner car. So if there's a problem, you can run out to the customer with the exact same part and save time. I mean, I guess maybe it doesn't really make a difference. Like if there's a problem with the car and a customer's has a loaner, you just tow the car and get the customer another loaner. Like you're not going to go fix it on site. Your number one concern is to just make sure that customer has a vehicle. If you don't have another loaner, well then, you know, you have to figure it out, pay for a rental or whatever. But it's not that big of a deal. Like I know tons of shop owners that don't have the same loaner vehicle, and your main concern is to have something that looks nice on the outside, looks nice on the inside, and obviously overall is going to be pretty mechanically sound. Like, because I specialize in Hondas, I'm gonna probably buy Hondas. That's my goal. But yeah, like if it breaks down on them or has a problem while they're driving it, I'm just gonna pay for the tow, obviously, get the car towed back to the shop, figure out a drive for them to get them back to their house, and figure that out case by case scenario. So I don't know, maybe, I guess. I have one too. I still haven't used all the features yet. Yeah, they have a ton of features. I think it was the Practical Mechanic, or maybe, no, it was, oh shoot, what's the name of his channel? The Rust Belt Mechanic. He did a really good video of like a full in-depth video of this tool and like all of the features and all of that stuff. A really, really good video. So I would highly suggest go watching that. The Rust Belt Mechanic, I'm pretty sure is the name of his YouTube channel. I watched that one a long time ago. Yeah, I have that adapter too to drop to 5 volts. I bought that from, I think it's from Power Probe. I think actually that 5-volt adapter I saw on the Rust Belt Mechanics YouTube video. I'm pretty sure that's where I saw that, but I could be wrong. I'm not the greatest at diagnostics, so I always tell people, like, I'm not the person to be watching for diagnostic advice. There are 1,000 people way smarter than me. And I can, thankfully so far, I've not had to call in a mobile mechanic or a mobile diag tech to figure out a car. I had one where I called somebody, had the appointment set up. He was booked out to like over a week. It was a long time away because they're normally booked up a ton because a lot of shops can't and don't know how to diagnose. And then I ended up figuring it out. I just took a break from it, let it sit for a few days, and went back to it and figured it out. Normally I can get it figured out, and I'm like anti the parts canon. So, and I'll figure it out, but a lot of times I don't know how I got there. Like, I know kind of what I'm testing and I know where I'm going, but I don't understand why. Like, there's like a disconnect in there. I found that people, and this is not 100%, but this is what I've found in my personal experience, is people that are typically really good at R&R, repairing and replacing stuff, that can, tear apart an engine and put it all back in. And I'm not even talking about internals, just doing an engine swap, or, doing basically really good flat rate techs that are efficient, are really good at R&R, but usually aren't great at diag, and vice versa. Usually people that are really good at diag and understand it are not as good at R&R. So there are strengths and weaknesses, which is why I think shops should have a guy that loves diag and enjoys that every day, and feed him diag, pay him really well, charge appropriately, and then have your R&R guys that love R&R and want to focus on that. So this is my personal preference. I don't know for a fact. I know shops that run it that way and it works well for them. I don't have that, so that's just what I think in my head. In my mind, that works, but obviously executing it is something different. I also just purchased the Go Diag Breakout Box 100 Plus. I have that as well. I've actually not used it yet, but I do have it. I like having some of that stuff in case I do need it. So thankfully, Hondas are fairly good when it comes to a lot of like really in-depth diag stuff. They don't do super crazy stuff. Usually when I see that, it's because they've been in an accident. Like we had one when I was at the dealership where the CAN bus network kept cutting out. And long story short, at that time, no one in the dealership was using lab scopes because Honda doesn't train with lab scopes. And I was like, hey, I was helping the guy. It wasn't even my vehicle. And I was like, why don't we hook up the scope to the CAN bus network and then start, instead of having to unplug every single module on the network, why don't we start moving and messing with connectors and disconnect and find out that way? And so we watched the lab scope and watched the CAN bus network, and we finally figured it out. There was a connector that when it was in the body shop, they had welded something on that corner, and the metal slag had fallen into the connector and was shorting it out. And so we got that cleaned out and it fixed his vehicle. So that's normally what I see on stuff like that. You don't see usually too many like wild, weird things like you do on like typically domestics or European cars as far as diag. So keeps it a little bit easier for me, but it's not always 100%. Like I've had some really annoying, weird things as well in the shop. So it's hit or miss. And I have a lot of, like I said, a lot of friends that are way smarter than me. So if I'm like kind of struggling with something, I'll message them. And what's funny is I'll usually message them And then by the time they answer back, I've already ran it through my brain and I'm like, I already know that answer. That's dumb. I just wasted their time. So then I'll message them back and be like, never mind. I thought it through and it's not. So sometimes you just kind of have to like type it out and process that through your brain. And then you're like, oh, okay, that makes duh. So yeah. I love the diag portion, keeps the brain functioning. Yeah, there's no doubt. It does. I like doing diag. I like when a car comes in broken and it leaves fixed. Like that's one of the most rewarding things to me about this industry is when somebody brings something in and it is either broken or they're having some sort of issue or it's like a check engine light diagnosis or something like that and it leaves and you just know that it's done right. And it's a great feeling. I really do enjoy that. And they're super happy. They're happy that their car's fixed. So yeah, anyways. All right, well, it's been 45 minutes. I think I will end this live stream because I think I'm gonna try to do a TikTok live stream too, and I'm gonna keep that one short. I just wanna try to make my rounds through all the platforms, and then I still have some content to create as well and do some videos so I can schedule them out for the week. So, do you do a lot of wiring as far as like diagnosing wiring or running new wiring? I don't do it, I shouldn't say a lot, no, but I do some for sure. Either way, I don't like run wiring, but I do diagnose, use wiring diagrams. I'm assuming that's what you mean. So yeah, anyways, good to see you, my friend. Thanks for joining in. I appreciate y'all joining in and watching and listening. Like I said, I know these are kind of hit and miss, and sometimes they're active, sometimes they're not. It depends on who's in and who's busy and what y'all are doing. I know y'all got lives and stuff to do, so I just appreciate everybody's support on the channel. We're almost to 50K subscribers. That is just like literally mind-blowing. I know people say that all the time, and I guess until you like do a channel and like grow it, it's hard to describe. Like, I don't know, like it's just crazy to me. And 50,000 is not like, to me, it's a lot, but you know, in the grand scheme of things, how many people are on these platforms, it's not a lot, but to me, 50K is like just crazy. So no, you're not, don't worry about it. You're not, it wasn't negative on loaners. Yeah, seriously, I'm not, I like the idea. I'm sometimes like when I answer questions, it kind of seems like I'm like shooting down the idea. I'm not saying it's a bad idea. Please don't misunderstand me. I just like thinking through it. At the end of the day, it would probably help. But again, like your main concern is just to get the customer taken care of and get them either in another vehicle or whatever and get it back to the shop. So you're nothing wrong with that. It's not a bad idea. Please don't feel that way. The Snap-on Helping Hands is awesome. Yeah, I don't have that. I actually have something from Jarhead Diagnostics, which is a magnetic solder roll, and that helps me a lot. It doesn't hold the wires, but it does a really good job for feeding the solder. So I really, really like that as well. I love Jarhead Diagnostic stuff. Brandon's a good friend of mine. So he's got his own shop too. So him and I are chatting all the time, and I love supporting his business. So he's super cool guy, veteran as well. So if you ever buy anything from his website, you're supporting a veteran-owned business. He also prints all of his stuff here, which is really cool. You're supporting his family as well. If you buy anything from Jarhead Diagnostics, anything Jarhead branded, if you use code Enright10, you save 10%. No kickback for me. I don't make any money from that. Because he's a good friend, I asked him if I could have a discount code for my subscribers. It saves you 10%. So I try to get those discount codes. Some of them I do get kickbacks from, some of them I don't. I always try to be as transparent as possible when I share those discount codes. So anyways, I'll see y'all later. Appreciate your support. Seriously, almost to 50K. Thank you for commenting on all the videos, liking and sharing the shorts and the long format and stuff. I'm gonna try to stay consistent with the long form stuff. I did just get a bunch of Milwaukee stuff, and then I have another big order coming from another company on some pretty cool stuff. Some kind of different stuff that you normally won't see on the channel. But I kind of want to share some like normal stuff that I would use, you know, just around in life, because it's not all about work. We've got other things we do in life. So I'll share that stuff as well when that stuff comes. And I appreciate y'all. Seriously, I know I've said that like a bunch here just in this last 5 minutes, but I am truly humbled and I appreciate it. So see y'all. Take it easy.